Isn't it crazy that the most talked about boxing match this year, maybe even the most talked about sporting event of 2024, is a fight between a 58-year-old man and a 27-year-old man? It's fucking crazy, man, but that is boxing for you nowadays. Boxing has always been a crazy, fucked up, random sport, but now in 2024, it's more fucked up, it's more crazy, it's more random than ever. And the fact of the matter of the fact is that the more crazy, random and outrageous it is in this day and age, that's what gets people talking. That's what puts bums on seats, and that is what attracts the audiences, whether it's on TV or especially online nowadays. And fucking hell yeah, the reason this fight is the most talked about fight of the year is because the majority of people do not want to see it happen. I am one of them people, but then am I a massive fucking hypocrite like the rest of the world? Because we know, people, as much as we're saying this fight is outrageous, it shouldn't be happening, it's fucking disgraceful what Jake Paul's doing, getting in there with a 58-year-old. Come November 15th, we're all going to be sitting down in front of our TVs, whether it's fucking England, America, anywhere in Europe, anywhere around the world. We're all going to put Netflix on and we're all going to watch and be intrigued as hell to see what happens when Mike Tyson gets in the ring at the age of 58 to take on Jake Paul. So yeah, we're all going to be watching it. We're all going to be talking about it. We're all going to be complaining about it, but we're all going to be fucking hooked on it. So although what Jake Paul is doing is fucking disgraceful, he deserves all the hate he's getting for getting in there and beating up a guy that's old enough to be his dad. Or we say beating up, Tyson might shock the world and fucking do it. A lot of people are still picking him to win because they're thinking of the old, not the old now Mike Tyson, the old Mike Tyson from like 30 years ago. So yeah, it really is disgraceful what Jake Paul's doing, but it could also be seen as smart as what he's doing because he's in the biggest boxing event of the year. He's really leaning into that villain role and he's getting clout. Although it's bad clout, clout is clout. And all the few people in the world that didn't know Jake Paul, like your granddad and people like that, will now be knowing who Jake Paul is because he's going to be beating up their fucking boxing hero, most likely on November the 15th. So yeah, what I'm going to do in this video is just discuss all the talking points around it right now because there are so many talking points. We're going to be discussing whether this fight should be happening, which I have just discussed. It shouldn't be, let's be honest. Yeah, a bit more about that. I'm going to give you how the only way Mike Tyson can win in this fight, because a lot of people are saying he looks a massive state, he shouldn't be in there, but he does still have a chance of winning this fight, and I'll tell you how. Obviously, we'll come with Jake Paul's tactics, let you know a bit about that. Just discuss everything about the fight. And yeah, give my official... I'll give my official prediction now because I don't think it's going to fucking change between now and November 15th. This isn't the type of fight I have to study for. And yeah, just talk everything about the fight and a bit about the press conference and that yesterday. So yeah, let's jump in a little bit more about what I was saying about whether this fight should be happening and Tyson's state going into it. It's pretty much self-explanatory on what I just said. As a 58-year-old man, really should never be in the ring. And people are saying, oh, he's in there with a YouTuber, so it evens the playing field. Jake Paul is not a YouTuber anymore. He hasn't been a YouTuber for the last 2 years. He is a YouTuber that has turned in to a proper professional boxer. Say what you want about Jake Paul, he is very, very dedicated to the craft of boxing. He trains as hard or almost as hard as any other young up-and-coming professional, and that is what actually makes the fight much more dangerous because he is a guy that takes it seriously. If you put Mike Tyson in there with let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think, because even KSI might be a bit dangerous now because he does take it more seriously. But still, Mike Tyson versus KSI, it'd be more of an even playing field because KSI is a YouTuber, an actor, a rapper who does a bit of boxing. He's got quite good at it for a guy who does it like that, and he's of a decent level. But Mike Tyson, I think a lot of people would still make Mike Tyson the favourite against him. The reason this is dangerous is because Jake Paul is a decent boxer now. He is a very good athlete. He has a lot of fucking power when that right hand lands. So taking business mind out of it, and like I said, clout, bums on seats, money, all of that, it shouldn't be happening, man. A 58-year-old in there with a 27-year-old in his prime, even though the gap in how good they were in their primes is so big. You look at the way Tyson walks around and that now, he's not in good shape, man. Even when he's walking, he has a little limp. Like, he's even said himself when he does them 30-second pad videos that look really good, and you got to remember that was 4 or 5 years ago now when he was fighting Roy Jones, 3 years ago minimum, I'd say. I can't remember the exact year, sorry, but it's a good few years ago now. Even then, he said he was blowing out of his arse for like 5 minutes after that, and it took him a couple days to recover before he could go and do the pads like that again. So anybody can look good on the pads for 30 seconds. It's completely different when you're in the ring fighting hard. So that'll bring me on to the next question though. Can Mike Tyson win this fight in any way whatsoever? The answer is yes, he can. I did a little short video on it yesterday. I will elaborate a bit more today on the one way he can win the fight. And it's simple as this. Come out hard and fast as soon as that first bell rings. Get the fuck on Jake Paul's chest and start swinging bombs as hard, as fast as you possibly can for the first 2, maximum 3 rounds is when I give him a chance. And just pray that one of them, as you come over the top, throws Jake Paul off a bit, shakes him up a bit, and then you can land a couple flush on his chin and put him down. Hope he don't get up, because I'll guarantee you after like a 1 or 2 minute burst, Mike Tyson will already be fucked. But if he does get up and you're fucking blowing, just think this is my chance to win the fight now. Hope Jake Paul is absolutely shook after going down for the first time in his career and thinking, fuck, it's the fucking real Mike Tyson in front of me. Hope he's shaking everywhere. Hope his legs are wobbly. Come with another big right hand over the top or a trademark Tyson uppercut and fucking do the world a favour. Rid the boxing scene, the boxing world of Jake Paul. And mate, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Oh yeah, I haven't even mentioned, you can see my Mike Tyson shirt here. Of course I'm representing Mike Tyson. Of course I'll be supporting Mike like 99% of the world on November the 15th. And man, wouldn't it be fucking incredible, man? Like I said, it's giving me goosebumps imagining that. That is the one way you can do it. Do it as a 2-3 round fight. Come out and give it everything you got in that. And if it was a 3-round fight, I'd say it's a 50-50 going into it. But it isn't a 3-round fight. That's the thing. It's an 8-round fight. It does help Mike that they're only 2-minute rounds. It means he doesn't have to fight hard and fast for that extra minute. It's much easier. Trust me, from when I was amateur boxing, going from 2 minutes to 3 minutes, it is completely different. Now, when I go back and spar 2 minutes, it feels fucking easy. You can go hard and fast for 2 minutes. That extra minute on top doesn't seem like long, but that is what makes fighters control the pace a little bit more, because it's hard to fight flat out for more than like 3 threes or 4 threes, even for really fit people. Because you got to think, if you're slugging hard, it's like sprinting. People sprint 100 meters or 200 meters or maximum 400 meters and they're fucked. They can't sprint much further than that. Imagine sprinting for 3 minutes straight. You're absolutely fucked. And that is what it's like when you're swinging bombs. So once it goes past that 3rd round, unfortunately, even if they don't fight hard and fast, so let's say Mike comes out and like sort of plays like tries to lure Jake Paul into him and catch you with a counter. Thinking, working, moving around on your legs, having a big guy like Jake Paul, who is actually bigger than Mike Tyson now. Obviously, Tyson in his prime was an absolute unit, but now Jake Paul's probably got a bit of size on him, leaning on him, throwing that jab out, throwing the right hand. Even if it's a slow-paced fight, Jake Paul will be fresh still after 3 rounds. Mike Tyson's going to be fucked after 3 rounds. So yeah, I think if it goes past that 3rd round, it becomes Jake Paul's fight, unfortunately. And I think we'll see something quite gruesome and cringy and disgusting, something we don't want to see. A 27-year-old Jake Paul leaning on Mike Tyson, throwing Mike Tyson around, Tyson falling over, Tyson getting punched up, and Jake Paul taking advantage of being in there with a man who's almost old enough to be his granddad. And Jake Paul ain't going to hold back, man. That's the thing. That's the scary thing with this. Most people will be beating up a 58-year-old Mike Tyson and be like, all right, Mike, you're a legend. Let me just take you to rounds now. Jake Paul wants to knock Mike Tyson out. He said it in the press conference here. He was quite vicious with his words. He was like, be careful, people, because I might kill this guy in the ring. He was even shouting to the New York fans, like, you're just like Mike. You were only good 20 years ago, calling them all dummies. He's really leaning in to that villain role now. He's probably accepted. He's never going to be liked in the boxing world. So he might as well go full Floyd Mayweather, become the villain, become the bad boy. Mike Tyson was the bad boy 25 years ago. It's Jake Paul now. Obviously, a prime Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet. Jake Paul ain't the baddest man in many rooms, but unfortunately, he might get the win on November the 15th. And I do think, man, if it goes past that third round, Tyson does go hard in them first 3 rounds. I think Jake Paul's going to have the opportunity to knock him the fuck out. And I think he'll take that opportunity. And man, it pains me to fucking say it because I'm praying Mike Tyson wins. But we got to be real here, people. I think unless Jake Paul does try and carry him, which I really can't see him doing, carrying him on points, we'll see a really boring fight if that happens once it goes past the third. But I think Jake Paul, my prediction is, people, Jake Paul via knockout, I'm going to say in the 6th round, after throwing Tyson around for a few rounds after the hard-fought first 3 rounds of Mike Tyson. And I think we see Jake Paul knock him out, wobble him, stop him, drop him, whatever, with an uppercut, not an uppercut, sorry, a straight right hand in the 6th round. And yeah, it'll be an image that never leaves Jake Paul. He will be hated for the rest of his life. I don't think there's any coming back from this. Like, let's be honest, the only way he'd redeem this is if he did shock the world and become a world champion and beat Canelo or something like that. But that's never going to fucking happen, let's be honest. So this is what Jake Paul will always be known for, always be remembered for. But does he give a fuck? He's getting paid like 40 mil, he said. His Instagram followers are going to go up more. His YouTube numbers are going to go up more. His ratings are going to go up more. His next fight after this will be bigger because of this. That's all he cares about, man. He don't give a fuck about anything else, really, does he? He's done some good things in the boxing world. Like, he's brought loads of new fans to the sport. He's helped Amanda Serrano. He's helped women's boxing, like, move forward a bit. He's doing that Boxing Bullies charity thing. He's done a lot with the USA Olympic team. But unfortunately, all of that will go out the window if he knocks Mike Tyson out here on November 15th. They're all the talking points right now. I've talked a lot about this one over the last few days. We'll be talking a lot about it over the last few months. Oh yeah, there was one more question I was going to answer. A lot of people don't believe this will happen. I don't think they would have done a press conference again and announced it again after Mike Tyson got that little illness, that stomach ulcer or whatever it was. I don't think they would have done a press conference again so quick to remind us all that it's happening if they weren't fully confident it is going to happen this time. So unless Mike Tyson gets injured again, which I think it won't happen again now, I think he'll dial back his training and take it a bit easier. It's possible, of course, but I think that stomach ulcer was either random or maybe a shock because he's jumped back into hardcore training again. I think he'll probably take it a bit easier, up his training nearer the time, ease back into it a bit this time, which will probably help going into the ring instead of going hard or fast from the beginning at the age of 58. But I do think it will happen, unfortunately, people. Anyway, over to you guys. Answer all the questions I did in the comment section. Who do you want to win? Don't tell me there's any people wanting Jake Paul to win out there. I know there's probably a few youngsters, a few YouTube fans that want to see Jake Paul get a win. But like I said, if you're a real boxing fan of any era and any age, any gender, surely you want Mike Tyson to win this one. If you're just a person with fucking morals, surely you want the 58-year-old to beat the 27-year-old who's trying to abuse him and take advantage of him. But yeah, another question. Why is Mike Tyson taking this fight? That's what a lot of people are asking. Does it seem like he needs the money? I think maybe he seems it's too big of a bag of money because he's got to be getting like 40 mil too for fighting a YouTuber. Maybe he's just thinking, fuck it, like I'm making good money from my weed company, from my podcast, from my movies, from my business deals. But he strikes you as a guy who still, even though he's on a cleaner life right now, Tyson, a guy that still spends a lot and will probably spunk a lot of money and lives quite a lavish lifestyle and has a lot of people to provide for with his family and that around him still. Maybe he's still got some debts from years back. Who knows? He did go bankrupt at one point. He was spunking money like left, right and centre all the fucking time at one point. Maybe he still likes that lavish lifestyle and this is some easy money for it. And probably the fire is still burning a bit at 58. It never leaves fighters, man. That fire is always there. And you don't want to get back in the ring with a professional. So maybe he thinks I could do it against this YouTuber. But yeah, anyway, more talking points, people. Let me know. Who do you want to win? Who are you picking to win? Can Mike Tyson do it? Can he win on points and shock the world? Can he knock Mike Tyson out? Can he knock Jake Paul out in the early rounds? Is Jake Paul's keys to victory different to what I said? Do you want to see the fight? Do you think it will happen? Let me know. Talk to me whatever you want about with this fight in the comment section below, people. Stay tuned because there's plenty more to come about all the boxing topics going on right now. This will be one of the main ones, of course. So, and if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. Thank you. End with that Mike Tyson uppercut and hope he fucking lands it. Let's go.